Sometimes the truth is painful.
You can't handle the truth.
Welcome to Todd's Truth. This is my third Creator's Truth, and thank you everybody who's here to watch it. And I'd like to introduce our guest for tonight. It's going to be Mark Primetime Poulton. How you doing, Mark?
Hey, doing well. Thanks for having me.
And then Clint is going to be here as well, artist for SeaDog and Codename Killswitch.
Yep.
I was going to say Killswitch.
That works too. I wish I had shortened it a little bit. It's a long title.
And we also have Mike McMahon, artist of USAssassin.
Howdy, howdy, howdy.
And the Graveyard crossover, yes.
That's right.
Graveyard Shift is going to be good. Can't wait for that.
With logoed merch.
That's right.
Nice.
Yeah, they're all prepared.
Mark.
I don't even have that hat. We'll get our own hat.
I was going to say, I'd be wearing ours. We just need it.
Oh, yeah. You guys need to make that icon that you guys did for the crossover into something.
Oh,
that'd be
cool.
awesome.
Yeah.
USA
that's a great
assassin,
icon.
A real American assassin.
That's right. Although I do like the was it Ink Spots did the ukulele song for us?
Oh yeah, that was funny.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
I saw
what would you guys like to talk about first?
About his coloring rates or something, and people were getting bent out of shape.
Yeah. Actually, I was asking other guests, so let me ask you guys. When you were growing up, or even now, who was your favorite comic book character? Can be a villain or a hero.
For me, it was Guy Gardner. I was a big fan of the Justice League International, and he just, I don't know, there's something about him. Ever since like the One Punch with Batman, I was like, that's my guy.
I should have known that you would like that, because you and me end up liking all the same stuff. Because like
I know,
Justice League
music
International, yeah, the Adam Hughes and Kevin McGuire and who was the writer was Keith Giffen and Jam DeMatteis, I think his name is. Yeah, I love those books.
Yeah, they're great.
Yeah, growing up, mine was Spider-Man everything, and Green Lantern, because his power was based on his willpower, but I mean imagination. I mean the cartoons, he's always giant baseball bat knocks Sinestro away or whatever. But yeah, as a kid, it's those.
Since we're talking about the Justice League, I'll go back to that era and go Power Girl, drawn by Adam Hughes. That's probably my favorite comic book character of all time.
Good choice.
Or any of the female characters drawn by Adam Hughes.
Yeah.
Fire and Ice.
Yeah, you can't lose with that.
Yeah, there was like, I kind of got out of comics, not out of comics, but just like I wasn't collecting that much anymore. Probably, and got back into it probably my freshman year of college. And there was a month where I think like X-Men 275 came out, and then it was Justice League 31, which was like the death of Mr. Miracle.
Oh.
You remember that storyline, Mark?
Yeah.
And it was like his funeral, and it was like Adam Hughes had drawn it. And like those two comics together like got me back into comics like hardcore, because the art was so awesome on both of them.
Yeah.
And cool stories too.
Yeah, I think mine, like I've made no, I think mine was the Green Lanterns as well. I think that was my favorite. All of the Green Lanterns. I mean, just like Mike said, that was just cool. I love that. What they could do, it was the ring, but it was what they could think, and how much willpower they could force through it to do what they wanted it to do.
Yeah,
I used to love that.
Yeah, when I got just like a little, like probably like 12 or so, I think. One of my brother's best friends was a huge Iron Man fan. Like he had like everything, and he got me into the Armor Wars. I thought that was really cool, and so then I started like I had like sporadic issues of Iron Man. Like I think the first one I had was Rhodey was in the armor, and he went, I guess like Stark had like dumped a bunch of like experimental armors in the ocean or something like that. So he goes down to retrieve them and kind of slag them because Nick Fury's coming after him to use them for shield or whatever, and then they run into like Atlanteans or something like that. It was just crazy, but it was really cool. It was drawn really well, and that one sticks out in my head a lot.
Oh, now you're making me think of old Iron Man issues and fighting. Was it Blizzard and Whiplash? Was like when he had to fight all three of them together, and it was Blizzard and Whiplash. Maybe they were in like Monte Carlo or something, and he had the new redheaded girlfriend, Bethany. Yeah. Was it Bethany Cage or something, or Bethany?
Yeah, she wound up like shooting him or something, didn't she? Like,
it wasn't Pepper Potts anymore. And then Madame Mask. Yeah, I loved all that stuff.
Yeah, he was never a good judge of girlfriends.
No, well, you know, when
they're all redheads though.
Mm-hmm. Well, he had a type, yes.
Yeah. You get shot in the spine once, you don't learn. I guess I don't know.
No.
And then
those redheads don't mess with them.
And then I love the whole Blue Beetle and Booster Gold back and forth from the Justice League we were talking about. Yeah. Like, it was like watching two of your buddies be on a super team that didn't take it seriously whatsoever.
Yeah,
I love that stuff.
Oh yeah, they were great. They were
Barton,
a perfect team.
Sean, hey,
hi everybody. Oh, hi Sean.
Booty Juice.
Booty Juice.
Booty Juice is a great artist.
Yeah, he's got some stuff.
Okay, that's that dude. That's right. That's his handle. He is a really good artist. I loved his stuff.
I gotta love that name though.
I keep forgetting to keep track of everybody's like Twitter handles and stuff.
Yeah. Of course, I see Booty Juice, and all I think of is Ford Fairlane and the guy going booty time, booty time.
There's another shot down memory lane.
That's right. That's like my favorite movie of all time. I love The Adventures of Ford Fairlane.
Ford Fairlane.
My hair. I just die laughing, man.
Oh yeah.
Man.
We're good. Well, as I was talking to Mark before we started, I was saying how he's a busy man.
Yeah, he is.
he's got 4 campaigns going here. It's like amazing.
Slacking.
Yeah, he's slacking.
Stan Lee
created a whole
empire already.
He's already Mark's already built he's an empire builder
this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I like to keep busy. Keeps me out of trouble.
It's true. It's true. Yep.
But yeah. We got SeaDog going right now. After SeaDog, once that goes to print, Viking Wolf, and then when Viking Wolf goes to print, Mike and I are going to launch USAssassin 3. So yeah, and then Graveyard Shift, and I'm going to try to fit in some other books in between then if I can.
Wow.
With that extra time you got.
With all that extra time. Wow.
Well, here's a question, Mark, that maybe not everybody thinks about as a writer, and there's probably a ton of CG writers out there. Like what writers need is an artist. So like, how do you go about tracking down artists and like, you know, teaming up with somebody and then like worrying about reliability because you put a lot is counted on with the artist. So like, how does a writer trying to like break it in CG go about trying to find artists that they can work with and kind of have some faith in?
I'm probably the worst person to ask because like John and Mike I've known for
get lucky
14 15 years. Clint, you tracked me down. And Matt Dalton, who I'm doing Viking Wolf with, he's a local guy, so I've known him just from like being at the same cons, and I knew him as an inker. I didn't realize that he was an amazing artist as well. And so I've never. One second
here. I went out and bought a microphone for these Australian bastards down under. And they're still whining over there. And they're jealous of the do. Like, I'm sorry. I mean, apparently Australians, or wherever the hell these Kiwi bastards are from,
I thought Clint's hair looked nice.
Rob whined, and I tried to make him happy, and it's still just not
Guys,
good enough with Rob.
I'm sorry. I gotta go. I got a family emergency just popped up. I will let you guys know.
You go do your stuff.
Yep.
No, that's unfortunate.
First.
Yeah.
Hopefully everything's okay.
Yeah, hopefully it is.
No, I'm reading the chat, not laughing at whatever's going on with Mike. Hopefully it's nothing serious.
Yeah, that was quick. Hopefully, yeah.
Yeah.
Apparently the chat has decided it's okay to make fun of my hair and my microphone, but all right, that's fine. Take your shots. Now, what the hell were we talking about? Oh, finding artists, Mark.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm the wrong person to ask. I pretty much work with people I know, and fortunately, I've had a almost like 15-year background in publishing, so I know a lot of artists. So I know who I can trust. You and John have been doing this professionally for a long time. Mike's been drawing forever too. So yeah, there's I'm definitely the wrong person.
Yeah, it sounds like all the people either know you or they come to you. You don't have to search anybody out.
Yeah, no, I'm very fortunate. I've never really had a problem finding an artist. Feel a little guilty about it because I see people posting all the time like, how are they supposed to find one?
Yeah, you're like, I don't know. I'm just so great. They come to me.
I
would say that, but
I mean, success leads to more success is kind of what it is. It's like, I mean, if you're having success, people notice that and they're drawn towards it. So it's like the probably the best thing to do is get one book out there. Like for a writer trying to make his break in CG or put out his own crowdfunding book, put out that first book and prove that you can do it. However, you have to do it. The other thing is don't start too big. Start with something small. Like if you're just trying to raise enough to put out like one 22-page comic just to prove you can do it the first time, it's better off doing that and like not getting your head underwater and just getting that book out, proving you can do it. And like by starting small like that, you're going to help yourself out so much because you're going to learn how everything works. You're going to learn how to deal with printers, what printers to use. You're going to learn, dealing with artists, dealing with colorists, dealing with all the shipping that's involved. But you're not going to create this huge project that's going to, just become overwhelming for you to manage. I think that's where you see a lot of people have trouble or, not deliver on their campaigns is everybody wants to like start out huge and like make this big splash. And all of a sudden you've raised all this money and you get overwhelmed. So like literally starting out small and just proving you can do it, but not just proving you can do it, learning how to do it without having this overwhelming pressure on you, I think is good advice to a lot of starting creators for Indiegogo or for Comicsgate or any kind of crowdfunding stuff.
Yeah, you see that sometimes I've noticed in just the times that I've seen it was that some people do their first campaigns and they go way overboard on a lot of things.
Yeah, I was going to say, and I think they don't understand like a lot of the cost that goes into it. So if they're doing like, several variant covers and all these high end rewards, you don't think just about the cost of making them, but shipping that stuff out. The shipping is a killer.
I literally won't ship original art anymore, and I draw digitally anyways now. But like shipping original art like gave me like so much stress, and it was such a nightmare because you're trying to package this stuff up and send it through the mail, and so it doesn't get smashed. And I mean, I would get people that would say, the post, it got here and, it's all damaged, and I would just try to find some other art to send them. But yeah, that stuff can be a huge nightmare and it just slows you down. So by going through the process at least once and not making it too big for yourself, you can kind of learn what works for you and kind of avoid some of the mistakes. And then obviously just listen to people who've done it before, like pick the brains of anybody that, is doing this kind of stuff. And I mean, most people are going to be really, usually pretty happy to give you advice and try and help you out for that.
Yeah. Like I've seen too, a lot of people like Mark and like other creators that do their own live streams. They do their own content. So just watch it, go there, listen, ask questions. I've seen a lot of, like you said, Clint, a lot of people are more than happy to answer your questions, give you information. And like Rob Arnold wrote that document for how to crowdfund. I recommend getting that because it's a great help to look through that. I think it's 19 or 20 pages now of stuff to help you with. So that's really great to read. And then like you said, just go around and ask people, because people in CG are not like stingy with giving you information. They're more than happy to answer.
Yeah, most want to give you, everybody's made their own mistakes along the way, and most will kind of give you those points where it's like, don't do this because I did it and it blew up in my face. And those little tips like that can help out hugely to avoid those. But sometimes you make those mistakes and it just slows everything down or costs you money, and you don't have a ton of money to work with anyways to begin with. So it's like listening to those tips can really help everybody out.
Oh yeah. Yes, Mark has his own channel.
Yep, Primetime Poulton.
Get the link.
Wrestling and comics.
Yeah.
Yes.
We can talk wrestling tonight too.
Don't
Yeah, I
get me
always say
started.
wrestling, pro wrestling, comics, and 80s metal are like the perfect trifecta of pleasures.
I know since I learned that Mark
background.
did his wrestling show, I started watching it every week now. I'm like, because I love wrestling too. I watch it all the time.
Yeah.
What happened to the big dude that was part of, he'd do the caterpillar thing? That was his finishing maneuver.
Oh, Otis?
Otis, yeah. What happened to him?
So he's teaming up with Chad Gable on SmackDown. Chad Gable was an Olympian. I forget what year Olympics he was in, but they just turned him bad.
Oh, of course. So they already ditched his old partner. It seemed like they pulled the pin. They pulled the pin on that whole storyline with him and
Mandy,
the blonde chick. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was super funny, and I was enjoying that. And all of a sudden, they just yanked it and got rid of it. It almost seems like if somebody becomes too popular too fast, they want to put the brakes on it and slow it down.
Yeah, no, it seemed like they had big plans for him. They gave him the Money in the Bank briefcase, which you're guaranteed to cash in. But then they had him lose the briefcase to The Miz, and The Miz cashed in last night and won the world title.
Oh, see, and I've been out of the loop for a while, so I missed all of that.
Basically, if you're a tag team in WWE, you won't be for long.
Right.
They seem to every time a tag team becomes something popular, like you said, oh no, they're too popular. Break them up quick because they hate tag teams.
Yeah, and then it's to me, it always seems like there's a story behind the story, because that Otis guy, that was the one dude I was following in wrestling for a while, and it was they wanted to squash that all of a sudden. So I don't know if there's something behind that, but you know more than I do about that, Mark. So he's still wrestling on SmackDown now?
Yeah, I don't know why they just stopped his push all of a sudden, because it seemed like they had a lot invested in him, and then they just they pulled the plug. They switched Mandy Rose over to Raw. Then they took the briefcase away from him, and now he's in a tag team when he was originally in a tag team when he was super popular.
Yeah, he must have pissed somebody off.
Yeah.
Vince McMahon had one of his geriatric brain farts and forgot what he was doing with the guy, and then suddenly doesn't like anybody. 2 seconds, he'll turn around, I love you, and 2 seconds later, he'll turn back around and go, who the hell are you?
Yeah,
get out of here.
Did he pull the Joey from Friends, where he said, I come up with most of my storylines myself?
Yeah.
Pissed off the writers.
The writers are, oh, that's it, you're done. No, I love the stuff. I don't watch a lot of WWE anymore because I just can't Just can't take some of it anymore.
No, I'm there with you.
I go through streaks where, and I mean, I'm not particular from one AEW or WWE or not, but I'll go streaks where I just watch a ton of it and then I just like fall out of it. I think it's just depending on the time of the year and whether football seasons is going. I'm probably going to start watching a whole bunch more of it now. So,
yeah, I usually watch AEW and New Japan stuff. Is what I usually watch.
New Japan.
Now I might have to watch more Impact stuff now that they're doing crossovers with it.
Yeah, no, Impact's my favorite.
Is it?
Their TV has been fantastic for the last, I don't know, I want to say 6 months.
What is Impact on? What channel?
Access TV, which I don't even have Access TV. I have to go find like someone who uploads it.
Oh, okay. Oh, then I'll have to do that too because I'm like Access. I don't even know if I have that.
Yeah.
Who are the names in Impact right now?
So
the Good Brothers. That's it. No, just kidding.
The Good Brothers are probably like the top act. That was Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson. They were teamed up with AJ Styles over in WWE.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins from WWE. Rich Swann is the world champion. Tommy Dreamer's there.
Big Show. Man, Big Show came back for just a little bit there during that push between Orton and Edge. And this is probably months back, but Big Show came out just so he could get his head kicked in by Orton. It tells you how good buddies these guys are when like Big Show hasn't been wrestling for 10 years. It's like, I'll just come in and get the hell beat out of me by Orton, just to push Orton a little bit. But holy shit, did Big Show look good? Like I can't believe the weight he lost and like how slimmed down he got.
And much more built.
Yeah.
He put on a lot of muscle. I was like, whoa.
He had abs at one point. It's crazy.
Because at one point he was like over 500 pounds, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Because I ran into him one time at the Denver airport is where it was. And I had a layover there and I was just walking through the airport looking for something to eat. And I walked by this one restaurant. And I stopped and went, wait a minute. That looks like Big Show.
It's hard to miss Big Show in the crowd.
So I walked in the restaurant just to see, I'm like, maybe it's not. Maybe just from a distance, it didn't look like him. And I walked up to the line. I was looking at the food and I looked, and I'm like, oh no, that's him. Because I'm 6'4" and he was like even this much bigger than me.
Wow.
And I was like, oh no, that's him. I was like, dang.
When I was in college, I used to work out at a gym that shared space with a wrestling school. And we could see like there wasn't really walls. There was just like, I don't know, like almost like drapes or curtains put up to block it. But we every now and then we could peek in the back and see the wrestlers training. Oh. One day there was this 7'4" giant running ropes back and forth. And then like a month later, we saw him on WCW. It was the Big Show.
Oh,
wow. You're all, wait a minute. I've seen this guy before.
Yeah.
It's always funny when to see him run ropes because it's like, how does he not hit it, just fall over it? Because he's so much bigger than the top rope. He steps over the top rope to get in the ring. I'm like, how does he not like, oops, and fall out?
Well, and I'm gonna have to ask Mark for every name because I can never remember. But the dude with the beard, and he's not much smaller than Show is.
Braun Strowman.
Yeah, Braun Strowman. I mean, like he's not as big as Show, but like he's not far off. And for how
he's pretty big,
he can move around pretty good too. He
he
can do most of the wrestling moves where Show kind of, although he's a little bit better now that he's slimmed down, but still kind of has to move around a little cautiously. Like I like they've gotten in the ring together one or two times, and it's been pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Braun
Strowman is he's a monster.
Hope he's doing well after what the news that came out about him having that blood infection.
Oh, I didn't even hear that.
Oh no.
Oh yeah, that's why he's been off TV. He got some kind of an infection, and they were treating it, and it got into his bloodstream.
Oh geez.
He said he lost 15 pounds in like 3 days.
That's doesn't
Something
sound
like
good
that.
at all.
Yeah, I heard that on one of the news sites. They were talking about it. That they said it was some kind of a infection that got into his bloodstream. I was like, oh, that's not good at all.
No.
If that got to your heart, that could kill you.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Wow. So Mark, what campaign is this for you then? With SeaDog and Codename Killswitch 2. Is this, how many have you done now?
So there's been 4 graveyard shift campaigns, 2 USAssassin, and now 2 SeaDogs. So 8, I think.
Man.
Yeah.
When he has to work hard to remember, it's been a lot of campaigns.
That's why I asked, because I was going, wait, I can't remember all of them that he's done. He's done so many.
Yeah, no, it's been awesome. This is really, I've gotten to work with Rob Liefeld's my hero. I got to work with him. I got to work at DC. This is the best time of my career, man. I'm just having so much fun getting to make my own characters and work with friends. It's if you had told me like back when I was doing the stuff with Rob in DC that in a couple of years I'd be doing my crowdfunding my own stuff, you would think, oh, I guess it didn't work out, but no, it worked out amazing.
Yep. And I mean, Rob's one of my heroes too as an artist. I got to work for Rob just very briefly, but yeah, crowdfunding has been a game changer for me, allowing me the ability to, like Mark said, just work on your own characters, your own creations, kind of be your own boss, work as your own kind of independent little company, and just the freedom to, a lot of us, freelancers, it's like you're always dependent on like some editor to give you work or a publisher, or you're always submitting. And with crowdfunding, it like I haven't submitted or hit an editor with an email with, sample pages in years now, literally, because I couldn't really care less. Like that was always such a hassle. And I mean, I've had more success with these crowdfunding books and being able to do my own stuff. And I mean, I worked in comics professionally for 20 years and worked for all the, publishers and, bounced around here and there, knew tons of editors, knew tons of other creators. Like, this is way better than that, I would say. It's more enjoyable. It's more, you can kind of control what you're doing more and have a say in it. Whereas, a lot of times you're working on stuff that, you're not even really sure you're interested in working on, but it's a job. So crowdfunding has been a huge game changer for me, and just being able to work on my own creations and being able to control what I'm doing has been awesome. So, yeah, I think we've both been enjoying it thoroughly.
Plus, it's definitely great to see, like you're saying, like that, when you see the creators like you guys and they're your projects, not someone else's, you see that enthusiasm and that just joy, like you just, when you were talking right there, you see the joy and the enthusiasm from you guys that really show that you guys really care about this stuff. And it's not just, oh, I'm just drawing this because I'm being paid to. It's not something I care about. Or I'm not writing this because I'm just being paid to. You guys are doing, and you genuinely love what you're doing, and you can see it come out in your guys' faces and stuff when you talk about your projects. And I think that's really awesome for people to see. Because I know I've checked out some projects and I went, I don't know if I'm going to back those. But then I went on people's channels and saw the creator talk about the project. And then I'm like, oh, now I'm backing that because I saw the creator, the enthusiasm and love for his project.
Yeah, what's been great is seeing like the backers get excited about the books too, like seeing the fan art for Graveyard Shift, or we're seeing a lot of Rebel fan art, which is really awesome. USAssassin fan art. So to see them like rallying around these characters and wanting to like do their own art of them is pretty awesome. So you can't help but be excited.
No, that is one of the coolest aspects of seeing fans draw your characters and post them on Twitter and whatnot. Like, I love that. Like, Fresher Luke did a pinup for SeaDog and Codename Killswitch. We put it in the book for the first issue because it was so awesome. And just seeing people like kind of react to your characters and like them enough to do sketches of them and do their own artwork of them, as a creator, that's like the biggest compliment you can get, really, I think.
Yeah, I think so, because I mean that shows that people are loving what you guys are doing, that they're wanting to do this fan art for you. So it's like seeing that is like, wow, these people really do and really are loving what you guys are doing.
Yeah, it's a nice reaction to get that kind of know that people are seeing your characters and liking what you're doing.
Yeah. Well, while we're talking about that, let's bring up your campaign.
Oh, there we go. SeaDog and Codename Killswitch Book 2.
So, do you want to give us a rundown of the characters?
Sure. If you want to play the video, that's actually a roll call.
I told Mark to do like a roll call, like the old Justice League cartoon. He did a pretty kick-ass
Oh yeah,
job.
there you go. Okay.
Yeah.
Let me make sure that
We don't have an Apache chief.
Not yet.
Can you hear it?
No.
No.
If you have headphones in, do you have to unplug them? I don't know.
Oh, maybe. Let me see if that's. I thought it would broadcast without. Okay, let's see.
I'm not really sure.
Well, Mark, you can just do the voiceover.
No, it's still not playing.
No. Did you when you shared the screen, when you picked what screen you wanted, did you hit the little box that said share audio?
Okay. Why does it always do this? Where's the little?
You might have to close out it and go back in and then click the share audio button.
Hold on, let me try that again.
It's like in the lower left-hand corner.
It's a rock.
Yeah, I lost the little. Sorry, I can't hear you now. Sorry, I lost the. It's not showing the little button now for sound.
Oh,
That's really weird.
Oh, we can skip the video and just scroll through the page. Everybody will.
yeah, we'll tell you about the characters.
Get the basics. We can point out characters from pages.
Sorry, hold on. My mic just went out. Say something now.
Hey,
You can skip the video if you want. Well, we can tell you about the characters as we scroll through the artwork, or I can try to do the voiceover as you play the video.
might as well give it a shot.
Yeah, it's the little button that you're supposed to hit for the sound is not here.
Yeah, no worries. Don't
I
worry
don't know
about
what
it.
happened to the stupid thing. That's a first. I've never had it like disappear on me before. That's why I thought it was going, because I could hear it in my earpiece, but hold on, let me move this banner as well. Here we go. Okay, let's, because there's usually a little tab you click, to do the sound.
Yeah.
But it's gone. That's so weird. And I'm using Chrome, so that's really weird.
Mm-hmm. Did you try closing out that page and then like starting over to share?
Yeah, let me try that real quick. Stop share. Because that's weird. That's the first that's ever done that. There it is. It reappeared. Okay. Okay, there we go. That is weird. I've never had it do that before to me. Okay, here we go.
SeaDog and Codename Killswitch
Now you hear
returned in an all-new
Yep.
age graphic novel by Mark Poulton and Clint Hilinski, featuring SeaDog, Soldier 7, Rebel, Tundra, Neon, Stormborn, and Crotch Rocket. Only on Indiegogo.
I will forever love that bark at the end.
Crotch rocket. I love that.
That's my dog Noelle. She came up big as I was recording that. She walked by and barked.
It was perfect. Yeah, Crotch Rocket has seemed to be pretty popular with a lot of the guys. So maybe he'll get his own one shot down the road. But
there we go. There's a nice team photo.
SeaDog has caught a lot of people's attention with his powers and his stories. For some reason, people like Rebel. I'm not sure why.
Huh.
And then Crotch Rocket has grabbed a lot of people's attention. So we got a fun group of characters on the book, and it's kind of been fun working on them.
Yeah, it looks awesome.
Yeah, we're pretty happy with how the second campaign is going. We're outpacing the first campaign by quite a bit. So that's good for us. That tells us like we're not only getting everybody back that was back in it the first time around, but we're picking up new people too, which is kind of, the goal for the second book is you kind of want to build off of each success. So we're happy with how it's going, but we always want to keep pushing forward and getting the word out to as many people as possible. So obviously, there's a lot of stuff out there that can grab people's attention. So, being on a show like yours, we really appreciate you having us on so we can.
Oh yeah, anytime.
Spreading the word to everybody that we possibly can, and you got to beat the drums to get attention because there's a lot of CG books out there and a lot of crowdfunding campaigns, but we had really, really great success with our first book, and we want to outdo that with the second one and just make it bigger and better and grab more attention that we can and just kind of outdo ourselves each time. It's kind of what you shoot for with each successive book. So
right. Well, I've heard you talk about Mark about the character SeaDog, but where did he come from?
So when I guess it was during the Graveyard Shift 2 campaign was going on, my whole family got so invested in it because it just blew up. The first day, I think I don't know. I can't remember the exact numbers, but every day my wife and son were asking me like, what is it up to now? And my son has worked with me in the past. Back in 2017, we did an all ages graphic novel called Pizza Tree that we got nominated for a Ringo Award for, and he's just always been interested in the comics that I've made, going to cons with me and store signings and stuff. But when Graveyard Shift was going on, he was like, Dad, we got to do something like that. We got to do something cool. I'm tired of doing kiddie books. And I was like, yeah, we can do something. We can do something cool. What do you have in mind? So we just started trying to think up a character. And I have a feeling it was because of he's really big into the Dogman comic book series. And he loves dogs. I was a cat person for like all my life until my son asked for a dog one Christmas. So now I'm a dog person. We have two of them. But
hey,
yeah,
it's okay. You can be both.
Yeah.
I love all animals, so I want everything.
But we came up with SeaDog. Originally, we were trying to think of a book, and the book was going to be called Dogfish. But there's actually a kid's book called Dogfish. So I was like, well, what about SeaDog? That works. And we were just coming up with his powers. Chase wanted him to fly, have super strength, and to turn into a fish. Hence the name SeaDog. So we worked on it, and we made it. He can turn into any sea creature. But then we were trying to think of an alter ego for him, a civilian identity, and we came up with the rapper SeaDog, spelled CDAWG. And they're both these dog humanoid creatures, and no one can figure out that they're the same person, even though they share the same name. They look identical. It's like the whole Clark Kent thing.
Right.
No one can tell.
Wait, you look like that other dog guy. What's going on?
Yeah, we even brought that up in the first book, and SeaDog the rapper's like, I can't stop impersonators.
That's good, yeah. And so how did you guys come to make him part of this team?
So Clint reached out to me around the same time. He had saw Graveyard Shift just blowing up on Indiegogo, and I've known Clint for a long time. We both worked at Arcana Studio, which is a Canadian publisher. Clint we had the license to Greatest American Hero, and Clint was the artist on it.
Oh,
And he hit me up, and he asked if I was interested in working with him. And I knew Clint from Arcana, but I was a fan of his beforehand. He did a book called The Hyperactives through Alias, and I bought that up. I was a fan of that, so yeah, I was excited to work with him. I pitched him the idea, SeaDog. I was expecting him to say, "Nah, I'm not really interested," and I would have been fine. We could have did something else, but he was like, "Okay, but I have these characters. Can we work them in?" And that was Codename Killswitch. And Clint, you can take it from there.
Yeah.
So really, what Clint? What was your first impression when he told you about SeaDog?
Oh, I was scratching my head because I'd seen Graveyard Shift, and like you have this huge success with Graveyard Shift, and then like SeaDog was kind of a 180 away from Graveyard Shift. So I was like, how am I going to make this work? He's a rapping dog that turns into a superhero that also turns into like anything in the ocean, like fish and stuff. I'm like,
it makes sense now that I'm a Justice League International.
Yes, totally. It absolutely makes sense.
Yep.
More sense now. And so I had this kind of like 90s kind of Wildstorm, kind of Wildcats, Cyberforce, Youngblood kind of superhero team in my head. And then I was, looking through the SeaDog stuff, and I'm like, I don't, what am I going to do with this? Like, can this really work? And I'm like, how the hell with it? It'll just, well, and also the success of Graveyard Shift, I was like, screw it. Let's just go for it. And like, let's make this happen. And it kind of encouraged me. So I just, hit the ground running. We started designing SeaDog. I had most of the designs for Codename Killswitch already kind of locked down. So we threw the two together. They were kind of an oddball mismatch, but I think in the end, it probably was the best thing. I think it probably worked out story-wise and characters kind of riffing off of each other better than I would have hoped for. It just kind of gives a different element, because like my characters, you could like go in the direction of taking them too seriously. And with SeaDog, there's always just kind of, that element of not humor, not silliness, but just kind of like, it just puts a twist on everything that kind of makes it a little bit more fun. So in the beginning, I was questioning whether it was a good idea, but in the end, I was extremely happy with how it all turned out. And like, I think story-wise, it makes it a whole lot better. So it's kind of one of those unexpected kind of things that turned out really for the best.
Yeah, I think it looks fun too.
Yeah, we're pretty happy with how it all turned out. And I mean, SeaDog is it's hard not hearing SeaDog's origin story and like not chuckling a little bit and like knowing that that's like definitely an interesting character. So yeah. It's been pretty cool.
Yeah, I just feel like they fit perfectly together, even if it seemed like a strange matchup at first. But just like Clint's artwork, Andrew's colors, nice, bright, everything just pops. It looks like a 90s cartoon.
Yeah, totally.
That's what I would have thought of too when you first look at it, was that it looked like some of the cartoons from the early 90s. Yep.
Yeah. I mean, comic fans are gonna see the influences that we have, but like, I mean, like I'd put this comic book against anything like Marvel or DC are putting out right now, quality wise, story wise, art wise. I mean, it's just a nice high end looking book. The nice thing with the campaign is if you did miss us the first time around, you can still get book 1 with book 2 through this campaign. We had the John Malin. That's
always good.
Yeah, we had the John Malin variant.
Yeah, I was just scrolling down to that. You guys got a Frege variant?
Yep, and we got the Frege variant right there.
Nice.
He's just did some rough layouts for us so we'd have something to show. But he's getting close to getting towards finishing that up, and that'll be kind of a nice extra push for us when we can show the artwork on the Frege variant too. And there's the mail-in variant. And it's just going to be a black and white line art variant, so everybody can like see all the really nice detail in John's work. He's kind of real fine line detail oriented with that artwork, so that'll be a nice version that variant that people can get with this campaign. But you can get both book 1 and book 2. And then we do have the Babe box option. If you scroll all the way down, yep,
Yeah, right
the
there.
$200 option there. You get all the variant covers for books 1 and book 2. You're going to get the trading cards. You're going to get the prints. Oh, Mark's got it right there. This is a really nice collector's box.
Yeah,
featuring, yep. Go ahead, Mark.
Has Clint's artwork on the front, has the title on the spine, both spines, and then it has a magnetic opening. And when it comes to you, it'll have 5 books in it. It'll have all 3 versions of book 1, and then both covers to book 2, and then all the other extras, the trading cards, prints, sketches from me and Clint. So yeah, I did this. I did something similar with USAssassin. I called it the Foot Locker, and people really liked it. And I've had people say, "Oh, for now on, the only way I'm backing your campaign is through the collector boxes." So I was like, "Yeah, we got to do one for SeaDog as well."
Yeah, is that the USAssassin one over your other shoulder?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah.
Yep, they've been popular.
Yeah.
And I mean, they look awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love them.
How many books do they hold?
So I fit 5 in USAssassin. I think I could have probably fit one or 2 more. It all depends on the size of the books. The first USAssassin book was pretty big, 80 pages. So but usually our books are between 48 and 64 pages. So yeah, I think we could probably fit at least 6 in there.
Okay.
But one thing, we just added the SeaDog pop socket to the Babe box too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And here we have this looks like some interior art.
Yep, that's actually page 1 right there. So,
oh, okay.
Yep, you kind of catch up with where all the characters are at leading into book 2. They're still trying to track down the main villain Shikari from book 1, and the Rebel and Neon are going undercover at a strip club to try and track down more information on Shikari's whereabouts there. So that's why you see the girls backstage getting ready for their time on stage. You got Crotch Rockin' blasting through with his trans-dimensional warp bike, and he's going to meet up with Stormborn there on the bottom panel. Stormborn has returned to his homeworld, and he's discovered that his brother Dragonborn has usurped the throne, and he's kind of in battle. But Crotch Rocket has to kind of bring him back to help finish the mission. So it's kind of a whole ongoing thing with Stormborn involved in the storyline too. So kind of shows you more of the backstory of a lot of the characters. We kind of hinted at it a little bit in book 1, about with book 2, we're kind of getting a little bit more into, it's more than just, Shikari is an intergalactic kind of mercenary villain that is trading in like superpowered genetic material. So
a lot of world building in this.
Yes, yeah, exactly. So
wow.
The team leaves Earth. They go to other planets. They also end up going to Stormborn's planet of Tharoon. They kind of, originally weren't that sure about Stormborn's whole story of being this barbarian warrior prince from another planet, but then they find out that it's all kind of true in this book. So it's kind of more backstory of all the characters.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, yeah.
My son helped create 2 of my characters too.
Yeah. No, that's kind of a fun thing, definitely.
Let's see. I took his advice and will be doing the same, but mine is a kitty box. That's good. Hey, Walt.
On that box.
Hey, what's up, Walt?
Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, so I noticed some of your characters look kind of, familiar.
I would say inspired by.
Yes, inspired by. Yes,
inspired by is the. I mean, there's definitely, and I've kind of said this on other channels. There's characters that I like and I think are fun, and I mean, Rob always goes out of his way to admit that Deadpool was definitely inspired by Deathstroke, the Terminator. So, if Deadpool is Deathstroke, the Terminator's son, then Crotch Rocket is his grandson. So it's a third generation ripoff. But Neon, if you smash Dagger and Halo together, you might come up with a character like Neon. And Stormborn is definitely, Conan and He-Man and all those kind of Thundar, all those kind of barbarian type characters from mystical world. So like all of my characters are influenced by characters that I like, because that's kind of what I want to draw. The lead character is very Spartan-esque or Cyclops-esque, kind of version. And I go back to, when the Image guys broke off from Marvel, Wildcats and Cyberforce and Youngblood. I mean, the characters are like, oh, this character looks like this character kind of thing. Mm-hmm. So, since we were kind of doing a 90s influenced book, I kind of took that same mentality when I was going to create the characters. And, some people are like, oh, this character is a ripoff. And if that's how they want to feel, that's fine. But like, to me, it's more fun. It's more, the homage to stuff that I like, stuff that influenced me as a fan and as a creator. So I think, to me, it's just more fun, having fun with it than anything.
Yeah, why not? I mean, people have been doing it for years.
Yeah,
it's inspired by. So if something influences you or inspires you, why not?
Yeah, definitely.
Oh wow, that looks cool. This must be on his world, right?
Yep, that's the double page spread opening up the book where Stormborn returns to Tharoon and finds his brother Dragonborn there. So yeah, kind of gave it the whole He-Man, Conan, Thundar kind of vibe, and have some. And also, as an artist, for me, it just kind of gives me some fun stuff to draw in the book. So there's the Babe box and the
pop socket.
Yep, pop sockets.
Pop socket. That's what. Yes.
So right below here, we've already hit our $10,000 stretch goal. So every backer is going to be getting this neon print with their reward. So that's our first stretch goal. Right now, we're just a little bit away from our $15,000 stretch goal, and that's going to be a Rebel and neon print. Is it up here yet, Mark? Or probably not?
No, I forgot to add it.
Yeah, it's no big deal. But it's another fun print that everybody's going to get when we hit 15,000, which we're not. Good day. We're not too far away from, so hopefully we'll be hitting that soon. And we've got more stretch goals and more fun stuff we can add to everybody's reward plan. So we're just gonna keep adding stuff as we go.
Awesome! Wow, yeah, this looks really good.
Thanks.
Let's go back up here and we'll look at your tiers here, so we can go. There it is. So this is the triple threat tier.
Yeah, so with that, you get Clint's cover and Dan Fraga's cover for book 2, and then you get the book 1 reprint with the John Malin line art variant cover.
Okay. No, go back. I'm not signed in, so go back. There we go.
And then 20. Yep, just Clint's cover for 25. Or you can get Dan Fraga's cover, or you can get the book 1 reprint with the John Malin cover.
Oh, okay.
For 25. And then if you see something you don't that doesn't have everything you want, when you go to check out, the add-ons are available for like pretty much everything. even the
Oh,
books from
good.
the first campaign are available in the add-ons.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Okay, that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
That's
want to
always
give everybody an
something
option.
that drives you crazy sometimes with some things. You're like, I want this tier, but it didn't have these couple of things. Then you
Yeah.
go and it doesn't give you the option to add it on, which,
Yeah.
you know, if they did that, they would make more money on the campaign. Cause you're like, I know I've done it several times where I've been like, oh, but I wanted that cover too, but it doesn't come in any of the stuff, only separately. And then you go in and it's not in the add-on so that you can actually just add it on and don't have to worry about it, making a second purchase.
Yeah, I wanted to give everyone an opportunity to get everything they wanted. So I figured the add-on was the best way to do it.
No,
Yeah.
it was a great idea.
That is a great idea. Yes.
And that's one of those things you learn, because I didn't even really know that much about the add-on. So like Mark, having gone through multiple campaigns and knowing that option and making it available for everybody, that's just one of those things you learn by doing it. So yeah, making everything available to everybody who, you know, is looking for something specific. That's, you know, we want to make sure people get what they want.
Right. Yeah. I mean, because if it doesn't, you know, because like I just said, if if they put it on the add-ons, you know, for the different things, you're going to make sales on those because people are going to want those things too. At least I do, anyways.
Don,
So I want to. Hey, Don.
Don in the house.
Did you guys see his lawyer comment on Twitter?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God, I laughed out loud at that. That was so funny.
I think people be losing their cases if they hired us.
And then you guys have the book 2, both covers.
Yep, $50. Clint's cover, Dan Fraga's cover, and then for $125 the fan pack. So that's, you get Clint's cover, Dan's cover, the John Malin book 1 reprint, and a sketch from Clint. Now, if you had signed up for our mailing list, you would have received a link to a secret tier, and that would have been the fan pack for $100. So you would have saved $25.
I think that's what I did, was the secret tier.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yep. No, that's a good deal.
Yeah. And
yeah,
then,
and the secret tier is a great incentive for the mailing lists.
Right.
I did the trading cards for the last USAssassin campaign, and just trying to match up the mailing list with the backers was such a pain. It's so much easier just to send the mailing list a link, and it's proven to be a very popular reward tier for us. So I'm glad it worked out.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea with the mailing list too, is to give something like the card, like a free card when you order, or like the secret tier, so that it makes it more incentive for people than just, oh, I'll just get it when it comes out. Well, if you would have done that, like you just said right there, you would have saved $25 on that, on the fan pack.
Yeah.
So that, I mean, that's really awesome. And then we have the Babe Box, which you were just talking about, which comes with
the Babe Box,
everything.
Yep. Yeah, all the books. It'll be a total of 5 books, 2 sketches, trading cards, prints, the pop socket. It's a great deal.
Yeah, that's a lot of stuff for it too. That's awesome. Wow. And then this is, when do you guys plan on fulfilling?
So Clint should be. So the campaign ends in March, mid-March. Clint should be close to completing all his artwork by then, and Andrew's probably coloring. Clint keeps in contact with Andrew more than I do, so Andrew's coloring when he has time. He's one of the busiest colorists around right now.
Yeah.
But
so,
I
he'll
think
be coloring in April.
Yeah, I think we'll fulfill early. I put the estimated fulfillment date for July, but I have a feeling we'll beat that. Well, we fulfilled 2 months early on the first book, and I think that is one of the reasons why this campaign is outpacing the first one so much. A lot of satisfied customers with the first book.
Definitely,
Right.
Yeah. We wanna. I mean, we'll hit our dates, but we actually want to beat our dates. So that's kind of our goal each time with these books. So we're basically right on the same pace that we were with the first book. So I kind of plan on us being finished with the book and ready for fulfillment before our deadline. But if some hiccup comes along the way, it'll still be by our deadline.
Yeah, that's always good. Give it a little, so you have a little breathing room in case something happens.
Yeah, a little wiggle room.
And how long, when it goes, how long are you going to leave it in demand? Have you guys decided that yet?
That's something we haven't really talked about yet. I think we'll wait and see how soon we go to print and then decide if we want to overprint or what. But yeah, last time we didn't keep the store open that long. Like once it went to print, we shut down the store.
Yeah. We'll talk about it more, but I mean, we both have other stuff on the hopper, so it's like leaving it in demand for us.
What? What? This isn't your only campaign? What?
We're doing the next book, so it's just kind of keep moving along.
Yeah. So you guys are at over 14,000 now, and 212 backers already. That's really good.
Yeah, it took us 60 days for book 1 to reach 12. After 60 days, we were at 12,000. Yeah. So we were past 12,000 in the first 30 days. So we're really thrilled with how this campaign's going.
Yeah, that's really good compared, like you said, outpacing your other one really well.
Yeah. Just kind of want to keep the momentum rolling and get the word out there about the book as much as possible. I mean, that's part of the, I mean, we're not worried about the product. We know this product, you know, the book, the story, the artwork, people are going to like. It's just, you know, getting the word out there about it and letting everybody know about it. And the more people we can, you know, get the word out and spread the word, hopefully the more backers we can pick up.
Yeah. So like one of the questions I like to ask too, especially when I get to talk to people like you guys who've worked in the mainstream, done that kind of stuff. What do you guys think of this new comic book industry of, you know, it's as much about self-promoting yourselves as it is about the product?
Yeah.
I like it. It took me a while to get used to the whole live streaming and, you know, having my own YouTube channel. But once I got into it, I feel like the pandemic had was a big help for me just to get my YouTube channel going. I had a little more downtime. So once I started making my own videos and streaming more, it becomes easier. I know that's a hang up with a lot of first time creators. They're like, oh, I'm not really a people person or a live streamer. Neither was I. But once you do it a couple times, and really everyone in this community is really nice and helpful, you know, you'll get comfortable doing it.
Yeah, that's probably the main thing is, I mean, it is self-promotion. Like, when you're working, like I said earlier, like if you're working for the big two or any of the, you know, even the mid-size publishers, you're always selling yourself to an editor. You're not selling yourself directly to the fans. You're hoping that the fans, you know, pick up your art and, you know, become fans of yours. But I mean, literally Indiegogo, crowdfunding, Comicsgate, it just gets rid of the middleman. It gets rid of that editor. You don't have to deal with that anymore. And you're just, you know, selling yourself right to the fans, showing them your artwork. With the YouTube shows, they get to know your personality a little bit, you know. And I mean, you can talk about whatever you want. And I mean, if you're, you know, outgoing or just maybe not even outgoing, but, you know, just interested in certain topics, I mean, you're just talking to a screen. So it's just a matter of kind of getting that comfortability of, you know, like nobody's expecting you to be like a professional broadcaster or anything. So
right.
Like most of these shows are, you know, pretty laid back, and basically it's like what you'd be doing if you were sitting at a Comic-Con behind a table and talking to fans as they came up and looked at your books, you know. So the laid back aspect of it kind of helps. But yeah, it is an adjustment, like going on a YouTube show and knowing that you're going to sit and talk for about, you know, an hour and, you know, sell your books and sell your product and talk about like whatever is going on in pop culture. So that takes a little bit of adjustment, but, you know, it's the results, you know, speak for themselves. Like I said, like I'd rather be doing this. I'd rather be doing my own books, my own characters. I'd rather be directly selling to like fans of my artwork than you know, trying to sell myself to an editor. Booty Juice wants to see any sneak peeks. I've got. Let me see if I can. I'll try and share my screen.
Oh,
Let's see. Share screen.
hey, Mike, welcome back.
Hey,
Hope
Mike.
everything's okay.
It'll work itself out.
Let me know. Okay. Is that sharing?
Yes.
Okay. Here's a splash page that I'm still finishing inking today, but it's almost all done.
Oh, wow.
Can you guys see that okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So here's a splash page of SeaDog, Killswitch entering the action. There's still a little bit of inking left in here. I'll just leave it at one spot.
Wow. That looks great.
Yeah, so there's a sneak peek. I've been inking it since Saturday, so it's all the work. Go right on Rebels t-shirt there. Finish some rendering on Rock Rocket.
Thank you. Yes, I saw that he was like tossing them around, and I was like,
Wow, that looks awesome. Is that going to be a full page spread, or is
that'll be a full page spread of it. So,
wow, that looks awesome.
Yeah, I got to draw on the little nooks and crannies on Tundra there, and probably some debris smashing around. But yeah, that's a little sneaky. Just a little bit of time I put into that one. So
just a little bit, yeah.
Well, this is the nice thing about digital is you can zoom way in.
Yeah.
And get all the detail down like that. But then my Andrew, my colorist, always tells me is like, you don't have to zoom that far in, like nobody's seeing all that detail. That's like I'll draw some tiny figure in the background and I'll zoom in like 3,000%, and he's like, nobody's gonna notice any of that. So sometimes, I mean, it can be a blessing, but also can be a little of a curse because I'm a noodler when it comes to the inking. I like to put in a lot of detail. So thanks for asking there, Booty Juice. There's your sneak peek at some inking on Codename Killswitch and SeaDog.
Nice. That looks good.
Yeah, it looks great, Clint.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah. Nice and clean.
Oh, yeah. That's like with the digital, I'm clean as hell on there because you can erase inks, which is like that was a blessing for me. It's I've been inking and just not making mistakes for 20 years, and now just to be able to erase something is no problem, Booty Juice. Thanks for asking, man. So yeah, digital has been between digital and crowdfunding, it's like two of my dreams came true later in my career. So it's kind of made for a nice combination.
Yeah. Yeah, that is a nice thing about digital. It's like, oh, look, I didn't make a mistake. Undo.
Oh, yeah. I'm learning to erase inks is a big deal.
Yeah. Because I can't, I'm just learning how to do digital now. It's like, I'm like, oh my gosh, there's so much you can do with this.
Oh yeah, that's the thing.
I don't ink anything I draw. I can't ink because I have Tourette's, so my hands shake. So I'm like, oh, I can't take ink to anything. It's gonna be all over. It's gonna be a big mess. I'm like, I'll pencil there. I can draw. There we go. But that makes it so much easier because you're like, oh, that messed up. Undo.
I'll show you how easy it can be.
Oh, let's see.
You can just sit and color stuff just if you're bored. It's like so much easier than and you can just kind of screw around with stuff. So, like, I'm not a colorist, but like sometimes I just like to go in and screw around on the pages with the digital because it just kind of is, a different thing than inking or drawing. So sometimes I'll just go in and mess around with my own colors just to, have a little break from what I'd normally be doing.
Yeah, and then you're like, and nothing's wrong because I can just undo it all and
exactly.
Oh yeah,
it's pretty easy to just fix stuff and get out of it and just be as loose as you want to be. So yeah, no, I love everything about digital. It's just been a nice freeing kind of thing for me for not worrying about messing up and being able to fix anything. And I am super kind of anal about this stuff, so I can kind of keep stuff as clean as I want it to be and then just get rid of it if I don't want it there. So yeah, I definitely have enjoyed that aspect of comic book creating.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah.
I'd been using so much erasers when I was drawing because I haven't drawn in a long time because I had a busted up shoulder. But I got one of these just so it was easier.
Oh yeah, electric eraser.
Yeah, because I'm like, oh my god, this is taking forever. I'm like, oh, they make electric ones now. What do you know about that?
Yeah, Don over there is asking me who my art influences are, and they're pretty obvious if you look at Pirate Queen and if you look at SeaDog and Codename Killswitch. But it's the Wildstorm guys. It's Jim Lee. It's J. Scott Campbell. It's Travis Charest. I love Adam Hughes and I love Alan Davis, but that's kind of a different style. But yeah, those guys, like all the big name guys from the 90s, like I'm just a huge and Jim more than anybody. I'm a huge Jim Lee fan, so he kind of permeates everything that I do, and I kind of try to emulate that as mediocrely as I can. But yeah, loved Wildstorm in the 90s. Big influence for me.
Yeah, I was running 2 comic book stores when I was in my early 20s. I was managing 2 of them, and went to. I grew up, which is funny. Which now I found out that I grew up in Northern California, and I grew up about 15 minutes away from where Dan Fraga grew up and where Shelby Robertson grew up.
Okay.
We all grew up in like a triangle of an area. We didn't even, I was like, oh my gosh, that's so crazy. And we all went to the same convention in Northern California called WonderCon in Oakland.
Okay.
And now we went to San Francisco, and now they moved it down to Anaheim. And I'm like, I don't know why, because then you took the only great comic convention out of Northern California. But we're talking, we're like, and we're like, oh my gosh, we all grew up like, and I go, wait a minute, did you guys go to WonderCon? And they were both like, oh my gosh, every year. I was like, oh my gosh, we were probably all there at the same time, because I went to like, I don't know what, 13, 14, whatever it was, from beginning till it left Oakland was the last one I went to. And then I was talking to Shelby Robertson the other day, and actually I had him on a stream the other day, and he was telling me that he got invited by a friend of his who's starting up a new convention in Northern California. It was in the same location in Oakland that the WonderCon was in. And he went and did a tour of when it was there, and they hadn't, that hotel, which changed, I think it was from Radisson to like Ramada or something like that. They never changed the carpets in the convention hall.
Yikes.
He said he had like flashbacks. It was the same ugly carpet from the 80s. It was like, wow. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that's bad. There's no way that those carpets could have survived all of that traffic. But he's like, nope, it was the same ugly carpets.
Yeah.
And then, okay, well, let me go back to this one real quick. There we go. So everybody check out SeaDog and Codename Killswitch book 2. And then Mark and Mike, that was good timing, Mike. You came back right when right when we wanted to.
And I'm actually going to cut out here, so I'll let you guys take the full floor for USAssassin stuff.
Aww.
It was great getting to meet you.
Thanks for having me on, guys.
See you, Clint.
Yes.
I'll talk to you guys later.
Bye, Clint. See, it worked out,
Alone
Mike.
at
It was good timing.
Yeah, I guess.
And then you guys are now working on U.S. Assassin Book 3, the Graveyard Shift crossover.
Yep.
Yeah, really excited for it. We still have book 1 and 2 in demand. We're going to close up the store at the end of this month. So if you haven't picked up the books yet, you might want to do it soon. That way you get caught up in time for this awesome crossover we're doing with Graveyard Shift. Anyone who's had a chance to read book 2, they see. I was pretty excited when I wrote the ending, and I really enjoyed Mike's reaction when I sent him the script, because I was just waiting for him to read that. I was like, I'm done. Go read that last page.
What was your reaction, Mike?
I was it was, dream come true, man. I love Graveyard Shift. I'll let Sean be the first Graveyard Shift fan, whatever. But then I was I was number 2. How about that? We're twin. We were.
It was a tie.
Yeah, I love Graveyard Shift. I love everything. I love monsters. I love the Universal monsters. I love the concept of it being like the what if they were the X-Men, and John and Mark have just made a really cool universe, and I got to dip my toes in it once with the supplemental book for volume 2, and now I get to pit our boys against him and John's boys, and it's really fun. It's awesome. I'm glad it was allowed to happen.
Yes, yeah, I am too. This is gonna be awesome. So how hard was it, Mark, to even it out? So you're like, so Mike's not like Mike. Oh, the assassin guys are going to kill these guys. They're going to wipe these guys out. No, it's going to be a better fight. It's going to be more, back and forth.
Yeah, no, John's my partner on Graveyard Shift, but I don't think he would have been happy if I just had like U.S. Assassin come in and cream him. But no, it was fun. Like, this is like all out. Like I always say, U.S. Assassin is high octane comics. This volume is going to like even take it up a notch. It just like kicks off action packed. Anyone who picked up the ash can that we sold a couple months ago, like the first 13 pages just like builds to like it ends that 13th page is like, oh wow, it's about to go down. And that's the crossover is just like one of the surprises for volume 3. Like the first 2 volumes led to U.S. Assassin becoming a team book. We started introducing, even with the first volume, we introduced Bazooka Dog, we introduced Slither. Book 2, we introduced Sensei Steel and Zero Face.
And Wraith.
Yeah, and Lieutenant Wraith. The idea was that they were going to become the core team, very similar to like G.I. Joe, always like revolving around Snake Eyes, Stalker, and Storm Shadow. They were like the core group that they dated back to Vietnam, and all these years later they're still together. That was going to be our core group for U.S. Assassin, but I was like, G.I. Joe is one of my all-time favorite books. I was like, the cool thing about that, they were introducing real people into it and making them Joes, like Sergeant Slaughter, William the Refrigerator Perry. And I was like, well, we need our Sergeant Slaughter. I couldn't get Sergeant Slaughter because he's actually involved in another comic book that's out now.
Oh.
But, Action, a company bought the rights to the name Action Force.
To the British. That was the British version of G.I. Joe.
Yeah,
I don't know if you know a friend of Patrick Parnell. A friend of his from the Kubert School bought the rights to it, and they're putting out a new line of toys.
Yeah, no, there's a Sergeant Slaughter figure, and I pre-ordered it. Sergeant Slaughter's involved in that comic book.
Oh, okay.
Well, I was like, I could still get my Sergeant Slaughter type character, and I reached out to. There we go. Some special missions. I reached out to pro wrestler, the mercenary Flip Gordon. I was like, well, he would be perfect for our book because.
Yeah, I can't believe that. That's awesome.
Yeah, he has like the same. I don't know, his whole attitude. I feel like just carries over perfectly to our comic books. So I reached out to him through Facebook, and I sent him a message. I wasn't even sure if I'd get a response, but he responded back right away, and he said, "Oh, I love that idea." I sent him like artwork and what I thought his character could be to the story, and he was like, "Yeah, I really like this. Let's figure out a way to do it." So I offered him a licensing deal, and yeah, starting with Volume 3, the Mercenary is part of the USAssassin universe. So we're launching Book 3, and then we're going to launch as part of that campaign. There's going to be a bonus book. It's going to be the Mercenary #1. It's going to be a flip book. The other side is going to be a short Bazooka Dog story that my son Chase and I wrote, and Renzo Rodriguez is doing the artwork for, and Mike's going to do the artwork for the Mercenary story.
Yep.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So those books I just pulled up, I got at a convention yesterday. They had one at our mall, and the beat up ones were in a quarter bin, but I couldn't pass that one up.
Hold on, let me make it.
Because I love Snake Eyes. He's my favorite Joe. I love this version of Snake Eyes is my favorite. The original, the one with goggles. Yeah. And then I found this. I was like $15. I was like, I'm just gonna do it, because growing up I had like a digest version of this story arc, which kind of explains Snake Eyes' origin and his connection to Stalker and Storm Shadow. But I only had it in like a little like Archie digest size that I got from 7-Eleven years ago. And when I actually saw that, I was like, wow, it's not $1 bazillion. I'm just going to grab it, you know? And hopefully I'll find the other issues to go with it as well. I mean, though, that was like my thing with G.I. Joe. Like, the cartoon never really focused on Snake. Like, I don't know. I love, like, the G.I. Joe movie, but Snake Eyes went down like a bitch. You know? Yeah. He's got his little laser gun, and he's shooting at the Kerbal Eye guys, and he just gets backhanded, and he's done. And I'm just like, he's a ninja. Come on. You know?
Yeah, that would never have happened.
I know. I was just like, oh, stupid cartoons. But anyway.
Can you play the video for Book 3?
Yeah.
I'm the mercenary, Flip Gordon. And I'm joining the USAssassin team.
Yeah, this is USAssassin. They bout the action, ready to make it happen. Yeah, this is the elite government task force. Whole team is official. What more could you ask for? Yeah, this is USAssassin. You don't want drama. If they pull up, they blasting. Monsters of the graveyard shift. You ain't never seen a squad quite like this. We got Bazooka Dog, and he don't cut no slack. A dog with a giant bazooka on his back. Slither is a reptilian, alien. 3 snakes for a tongue. You don't want to mess with him. Sensei Steel, who is so mysterious, martial artist and trainer. Snake with the kids, Zero Face is a bad guy turned good. The mercenary is a beast, get it understood. Takeout is a fast shooter, fast draw. Kirby is the Lone Ranger, but she hits hard. Lieutenant Ray, second in command, yes indeed. Who's the brains of the team? A super ninja at the lead. Yeah, hey, this is USAssassin. Yeah, this is USAssassin. Let's go.
I never get tired of watching that.
Nope.
No, that looks awesome. It's got a question for you, though, from Lord Finatra. Who's rapping?
So there's a rapper I found on Fiverr called M. Burton. He's awesome. He did my SeaDog rap for me last year. So I had this idea for the video of I just wanted to create like what would it be like if there was a USAssassin cartoon? What would the intro be like? So I hit that guy up again and said, could you do it for me? And I gave him a description of all the characters, and he just like took all the descriptions were one sentence. he just found a rhyme with each sentence and just made it into like 2 lines for each character. He was amazing. He did that rap. I sent him the request, and he had it back to me in like 30 minutes. I was like, wow.
Wow.
I think I was on the road at the time. I quick forwarded it to Mike just so he could hear it. Mike didn't even have any idea I was working on that, but yeah. And then I hit up Ted Zagara to see if he could make the video for me. And I asked Flip if he would, give us like a little intro video. And I just thought he was going to do something on his phone, but Flip did this awesome intro where he's like stepping out of the darkness with his mask, and then it looks cinematic.
Yeah, it does.
And then Ted just added the effects to it with like the transmission, and then put together that whole rap video for me, and it just came out fantastic. I already have ideas for book 4, what the video is going to be. Keep taking it to the next level.
Yeah, his video looks like it was something that was filmed for like one of the wrestling programs.
Yeah. So Flip has his own YouTube channel. I think it's just Flip Gordon, but he did like a series called The Mercenary, where it was like him undercover, and Ted watched those videos and just took some clips from it. I was like, Flip, I hope it's okay that we use this, and he was like, no, it's great. It turned out fantastic. So it looks like we had stunt work done in our video.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah,
looks like it was professionally made to be aired on like I said, on one of the wrestling programs. That
that's
right. A vignette or something. That was awesome.
Yeah, so I seeing that, I was just so psyched. I'm just so looking forward to this. Like two of my creations coming together and fighting it out. It's going to be awesome. Mike's killing it on the book. Mike's like what, almost 30 pages done on it.
Yeah. And I did 1 page of the Mercenary so far, which I actually might redo, but that's just the way I am. That's just the way I am. Sits too long. I'm just like, I could look better.
Yeah, and I think Renzo's almost done the Bazooka Dog story. I sent him the script a couple weeks ago once Chase and I finished it up. But yeah, we have a lot of artists helping us out on this. John Malin's doing a cover for us. Aaron Alfeche is doing a cover for us.
Oh, nice. Wow.
Cedric Nakan did one for us, and then we're going to have prints. Eric Weathers is doing a print for us. Andrew Mangum is doing one for us. So yeah, it's going to be a lot of top talent working on the book.
And I got to tell you,
Matt Martin's doing a cover for us.
Yeah,
man, you guys are just killing it.
I'm a huge mark for John Malin art, and ever since we came up with USAssassin, and this is going back like 3 or 4 years now, I have been dying to see him do his interpretation of USAssassin, and now we're going to get to see one, and I'm just as excited as the next Malin fan to see what he does, because everything he does, he just knocks out of the park. I mean, I got Super Dead. I bought Super Dead because of his cover. I mean, he's just gotten so much better, and it's just so striking and awesome, and I can't wait.
I'm looking forward to seeing John draw Bazooka Dog. After seeing his Starlight Cats cover, I want to see him draw Bazooka Dog.
I love what he did with that cover. That cover cracked me up when he was like, Shane was like, "You made the smallest cat look the meanest," and he goes, "Yeah, he grew up. He's buff now." That's awesome. And he does. He looks like he's the fiercest cat on the page now. It's so awesome.
Yeah, and I like the little video he did where it was like the cat going meow 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 meow, and and all of a sudden Kenneth Rocafort's cover pops up and there's like the screeching halt sound effect, and he's very clever and creative with stuff like that.
Yeah, I saw he said, I'm trying to remember what he said because it's hilarious. Something about my cover are real attack cats and Rocafort's cover is a bunch of furries.
Yeah.
He goes, I should not be attracted to a cat. I was dying laughing.
Yeah.
So you were saying that this is going to be released after
SeaDog? Viking Wolf.
After Viking Wolf, okay.
Yeah, so after SeaDog goes to print, I'll launch Viking Wolf. Viking Wolf's already done except for the coloring. So once the Viking Wolf campaign's done, I'll send it off to the printer, and then we'll launch USAssassin 3. So hoping sometime in the spring. Depending on, I think the only question is like when will SeaDog go to print? I expect it to go to print fairly quick after we close the camp or end of 60 days. But so either like May or early June, I think we're going to launch USAssassin.
Okay.
And we'll have a majority of the book done. Oh, one thing I would like to add to USAssassin, Anthony George is joining us. He's the colorist of Graveyard Shifts. He's going to color USAssassin 3.
Oh, nice.
Yep. Yeah.
See, that's what I was saying earlier, Mark. It's like you don't have enough projects going on. Then with the new Assassins here, you just gave yourself another project for the Mercenaries. You're adding that to it. And you've got all these. It's like where do you find time? You've got so many other things going on already.
And I actually have like a couple other books that are almost done too. That I have to figure out when I can launch them. I have a book called The Black Owl with our Mike and I. We have a mutual friend, Greg Poulton. He's drawing that. He only has maybe like 20 more pages to draw, and that book's going to be done. And then I have a graphic novel called Loose Threads that Anthony George is coloring as well. That all the artwork's done for that book, but Anthony colors it in between time for Graveyard Shift, and Graveyard Shift has taken the majority of his time, and now USAssassin's taken his time too. So eventually Loose Threads will get out there as well.
Man,
yeah, that's a project that's been a long time coming too. I've been looking forward to that.
It's Mark Poulton building his empire.
Yeah. Speaking of which, like my company with my son is called Haunted Pizza. I was like, oh, we got all these cool projects. I want to put out a yearbook like Extreme Studios did back in the 90s.
Oh, yeah.
And just have creator bios of everyone I'm working with. So as part of the Viking Wolf campaign, one of the higher tiers will be you'll get the Haunted Pizza yearbook, and it'll have artwork from Mike, Matt Dalton, Greg Paulson, Cedric Nakan, who's done some SeaDog stuff for me. So yeah, it'll have bios of Mike and Matt and Renzo and me and Chase and everyone I'm working with. And it has a new cover, another book I came up with, Gun Goth, that I'm doing with Dexter Weeks and Mark Yoon. Mark Yoon did the Spider-Man homage cover for USAssassin. So
that's gonna be awesome.
He's wanted to do something with me, so I came up with Gun Goth, and Dexter Weeks, one of my best friends. I've known him for 20 years. So yeah, I like to work with people I've been friends with a long time. So I like to. I mean, honestly, work with people that way you can keep tabs on them. You always know where they're at in their work.
Yeah, you're all, I know where they all live.
Yeah,
that's right.
Can't hide from me.
That's right.
Yeah, this was your symbol there for the campaign. That's the symbol that I think you guys should put on like shirts and stuff too. Your crossover symbol.
Nope.
That symbol.
I agree.
I love that symbol.
Yep.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah, expect a t-shirt soon, and maybe some more merch.
Yeah, because that looks awesome. I know when I was reading the book 2, I was like, no, Slither? He's going to be a good guy? He doesn't seem like he would do that. Yeah.
Good guy in the sense of he doesn't really have a choice.
Yeah, exactly. The anti-hero guy that he's being forced to do something.
Yeah, it's
something's going to happen to Slither where I think he's going to become more team oriented in book 3. After book 3, he's going to become more of a team player, I think.
Yeah.
Because I know it even shocked me, like when I was reading it from book 1 to book 2, when Bazooka Dog. Oh, sorry, spoilers if no one's read this. When Bazooka Dog blew him up, and I'm like, oh well, there he goes, he's dead. And that's what I like about your book. This one, USAssassin, is that every time I go, oh, that's a cool character. Oh, he's dead.
Well, what's funny about
Assassin just killed him. Okay.
What's funny about that is, this was originally supposed to be a one and done for USAssassin, and I had this name Zero Face going through my head, and I had this kind of epilogue scene playing in my head of, you like and down the hallways and you see like Slither's body starting to kind of like crawl back together. And then you have, the reveal of Zero Face being like, come on, pull yourself together.
Yeah.
Mark worded it way better than I did. But I sent the idea to Mark, and Mark's like, dude, we're done. This is done. We need to go to print. I was like, trust me. I was like, Zero Face is the Storm Shadow to USAssassin Snake Eyes. And then he was like, all right. And then like I got the script for script 2. I mean, script 2 came super fast. And I think it kind of like, I don't know. I don't want to speak for you, but I would like to think that it kind of jazzed you up to,
Yeah, no. And it wasn't that I was done with USAssassin. I really, once we were working on it, I really wanted to continue working on it. Like I originally pitched it to Mike as The Dark Knight meets American Ninja. It was like the American Ninja having his one last ride, last time he suits up. But I enjoyed doing the book so much with Mike that I wanted to continue it. But I didn't have an idea what the next book would be until Mike came up with this idea. And I was so focused on let's get the book done because I don't want it to hold up Graveyard Shift and getting that to the printer. But when he told me the idea, and he hit my sweet spot when he mentioned Storm Shadow and Snake Eyes, that the ideas just started coming to me, and I probably wrote the story in a couple weeks. I had the next script, so Mike was done, and he already had like the next script ready for us to get started.
It was awesome. It was awesome. It was a good feeling that it was that. I don't know, this might sound weird, but to me, it was like the first time it really hit home that we were a team to me. Because, I'm always like, this is Mark's idea. I'm just the art monkey. But like when I was able to like contribute something more than just the pictures, and then Mark was, I felt like, it's kind of like validation for your ideas, when the writer's like, yeah, that's good. And then creates this. I mean, I just came up with a name and an outfit, and Mark created the whole backstory for Zero Face, which is awesome. And all the stuff that connects together. I mean, it's just, it was a truly collaborative moment, and it's been like that ever since. And I don't know. You'd have a hard time getting me to work on something else with somebody else, is all I'm saying.
Well, you guys know I love it because book 1, book 2. And I love your art, Mike, because
you own most of it.
I own a whole bunch of it over here. Yeah.
There's like, there's like 3 people. You're one of them, and there's 2 other guys, and you guys probably own everything I've put up for sale.
I know. One of the others is Walt, right?
Huh?
Is Walt?
Yeah, Walt. Yeah, Walt is. Yes.
Who's this third person we have to take out?
I'm trying to remember what their Twitter handle is because I don't want to dox them, but there's 3. There's 3 of y'all, and I appreciate every sale, and I appreciate the fact that you guys are excited about my work because sometimes I have a hard time getting excited about my work, and it's kind of nice to have that validation that, people actually are enjoying it and it's not just,
Well, I am. Book 1 and book 2 were awesome, you guys. So I'm looking forward to book 3. And now the whole mercenary thing, I'm still in awe that you got Flip Gordon. Cause I'm like, he was one of the wrestlers I really like.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wait, he got who? When I first saw your announcement, I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, as soon as Mark showed me pictures of him, I was like, oh my God, he's like a living comic book character. I mean, wrestling is kind of it's like a opera in comics put together on screen, but man, it's iconic. It is. I mean, like you see that and you're like going, wow, that stands out from everybody else. To me anyway. And I'm just like, that's perfect. Like I don't have to do anything. Like he's already created the outfit. I'm good.
Yeah.
Just a photo and draw it. There you go. That's because
right.
It's already ready to go.
And if you're excited about book 3, wait till you see the surprise for book 4. I just got to keep trying to outdo ourselves. So I was working on something, and
there's
I'm really
right. Isn't there?
For book 4. Oh yeah. Well, there's a few surprises, but
nice.
there's a really big surprise. So yeah,
it's so hard to. I just want the world to know, but it's like,
just doing this book is just so much fun for me. I feel like it just hits on everything that I'm a fan of, and I just get to go 200% into it and just go crazy with it.
Yeah.
So what was Malin's reaction when you told him you wanted to do a crossover with USAssassin?
Oh, he was like, sure. He was.
I better not fuck it up.
He was just like, just make it equal, like me.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So fans know what to expect when you get like a team up like this, but there'll be surprises along the way, and it's. I've seen Mike's artwork, and it's fantastic. It's his best work. Like every volume we do, Mike just keeps getting better and better. So
he does.
Just imagine where he's going to be when we're on volume 5 or whatever. He's awesome.
Yeah.
I definitely know volume 4 I'll probably be tired of drawing a certain texture is all I will say.
No, you're right, Mark. Every the art I have of Mike's from like book 1 to book 2, you can see how good he's become, and he's getting better with each drawing.
Thanks.
Yeah. That's why I keep buying his art. It just keeps getting better and better.
I mean, there was like a big learning curve like between 1 and 2 because like volume 1 took me like 3 years to draw, because it was before like the Comicsgate thing was going on, and Mark and I really didn't have like a launch time, but then the Comicsgate stuff started happening, and as soon as I was done with volume 1, I did the 20 pages for the Graveyard Shift supplemental, and that was on a relatively tight deadline. For pencils and inks, I had like 2 months. And so I had to figure out real quick how to streamline my process. Like I can't do full pencils and then do inks. I had to figure something out. So I started doing kind of like what EVS does with just like the blue pencil, do the figures, and then, figure out the rendering in the inking process. And that really helped. And also the excitement that Mark had for volume 2, and the fact, like I said before, it made me feel like I was actually contributing something. That excitement plus that new skill set really kind of set me off to work faster and better. And I ink all my stuff now. Volume 1 had 4 inkers. So, and unfortunately that's, seems to be the biggest ding Volume 1 gets is the inconsistency. And I should have just stuck with it from the beginning, but you learn, and we're going forward doing it. I'm doing it all myself now, and I don't know.
Well, I just made that comment to Shelby Robertson the other day I think it was yesterday when he showed some of his work, or maybe it was today, and he said pencil, inks, colors, and I was like, do you do everything?
He's fast though. He's very fast.
Yeah, he is.
And he's got like what Silvestri has, that kind of controlled, I don't want to say sloppiness, but like there's a kineticness to his line work. And I've tried to do it. I can't do it. I can barely do what I do now. So, but you know, he's got his spot and how he knows, and he's been a machine for, you know, like 20 years.
Yeah.
I mean, 'cause, you know, years ago, go to a con, there's that wall of prints, and he drew, you know, penciled, inked, and colored like all that.
Right.
You know, so he says he's not a colorist, but the dude can color, you know.
Yeah. Well, if you saw that one he just showed off today or yesterday or today, I was like, wow, that looks really good. I was like, dang, don't say you're not this. Your stuff looks really good. Damn.
Yeah. I'm hoping his next campaign does really well, because he needs to, his profile should have been bigger a long time ago.
Yeah.
Because he's just so.
I talked with him and he was like saying the same thing, but he's like, but my problem is I don't get out there enough. He said, I put my head down and I just want to work.
Yeah.
He's like, but I used to. And I was telling him when I had him on one of my shows a couple weeks ago, and I was saying the same thing. And he said, I go, yeah, we need to get you out there more. We need to get you on more streams and do different things and, you know, promote your stuff more, because you should be doing way more and a lot better than what's been going on. Because he would like appear on like one stream and that was it.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, we got to get you out there more, man, because your stuff is incredible.
Yeah, he's fantastic, and I dig his stuff a lot. I've collected his stuff for you know, almost 3 decades now. So
yeah,
like from what was it, like Fem 5, and then his extreme stuff, and I got the individual issues of 94. I got his Madam Satan. He did some stuff for London Night Studios that I got. So I've been following his career quite. I follow artists. I always like to see their journey. You know.
Yeah.
The first guy that I actually followed, because usually, like in the 80s, most artists were kind of like, that's where they're at. Like really see a growth. It wasn't really until like the Image guys, you know, when they brought on those younger people. So like, you know, like the guy I followed the most in the 90s was Murat Michaels, and seeing him go from like the first Brigade miniseries to the second was a huge leap, you know. Yeah. I mean, I would say it's the equivalent of like, you know, my leap from Volume 2. It just got so much better. And, you know, so that kind of was like the first time I was like, went out of my way to find newer artists and then see where, you know, their trajectory, you know, whether it got better or worse, for better or worse, you know, that's like the fun part for me as an artist, looking at other people's art. So.
Yeah, especially if you, like you said, if you can see it in two different places in time, then you're like, wow, look how much this has changed or improved or something. I know recently I found and picked up an old picture that Shelby drew of Green Lantern, because that's my favorite. Green Lanterns are my favorite characters, and it's Green Lantern, Hal Jordan, and the Cyborg Superman.
Oh, cool! In
the picture. There you go, nice. And I showed it to Shelby, and he was like, "Oh my gosh, I forgot I drew that. It was so long ago." And I was like, "Well, it's mine now." I was like,
yeah. I actually, I have my daughter. I have 4 kids. I have a 15, 13, 11, and a 3-year-old. And the 15-year-old, my daughter, she likes to draw, but she's like more manga influenced. And my 11-year-old Caden, he likes like Dogman and stuff like that. But like, it's neat because
no, Mike, it's SeaDog. It's not Dogman.
Yeah, but it's as you know, even at 11 years old, he's storytelling down. Like he does like these. We give him these panels in him already, like he can get at Target, and he can tell a story, you know. Wow. And then like awesome. you know he gets you know, sometimes like both of them will kind of get down on themselves, and I'll bring out an old sketchbook and be like, this is where I was, you know, at your age or whatever. I said it's practice and just working on it. And you know, both of them are way further ahead than I was at their age. So it's just neat to see, soon they'll be passing up their old man.
That's really awesome. At 11, he's already doing sequential work. Yeah. Wow.
It just, because when I think of like kids' work, you're like, it's just going to be a bunch of pictures, or but with his stuff, like I can follow the story and he's telling a story. Like, he's got it down to where like, this character's doing this in this panel. And then like, I don't know. It's just, it amazes me. So, he's really good. It makes me really proud of him that he's able to do that.
Man. Oh yeah. They got you as a dad. So man, talk about having a good teacher.
I haven't taught him anything. I haven't. They've read my books, they've seen my stuff, but I haven't taught them anything, and they just, if they want help with something, I'll help them with something. I'll get them a book if they want, but they're just doing it all on their own, and hopefully that's my dad's genes passed down to me because he was a cartoonist and a caricaturist, and
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's really cool.
I learned to draw after I met Ron Lim.
Oh wow, yeah, that's Silver Surfer.
Yeah, because the comic book store that I was managing, well, the two of them I was managing, the owner of that chain had a chain in Sacramento, and Ron Lim was a subscriber to the store in Sacramento.
Oh, nice.
That's
so
cool.
I got to meet him through the owner of the chain.
That's awesome.
And then through him, I met some of the other guys at the convention. Well, WonderCon, because everybody would come to that big convention. Yeah. I met Liefeld, I met Lee and McFarlane and all of them before they formed Image.
Yeah.
Then,
that's awesome.
Then I started going, and then Ron was like, here's some stuff. Learn to draw. It's easy, just work at it. It's all about practice. It's not, and even he said back then, he goes, people say it's talent. He goes, it's not. It's practice. He goes, keep practicing. And he would give me, every time I'd see him, he'd give me something else. He's like, here, read this or look at this. And that's where I started to draw. And I'm like, oh, really? I thought it was all about, it was all about talent. He goes, yeah, but it's all about practice. He's like,
there's like 5 people that I would say are just naturally gifted. Like, was right out of the gate, was great. Adam Hughes was pretty great right out from the gate. Anything Buscema did was fantastic.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's very few. Everybody else, they had to, it's work. It's a fun job to have, but it's still work. And but there's very few people that it may look like it comes natural to, but that's because they worked really hard to get to a spot to where they can make it look like that. And then there's those those handful of people that are just like,
yeah. What do you mean? I just started drawing. Here's a full. What?
I take the McFarlane approach. I'm like, if I just keep adding detail, it'll cover up. It'll make my mistakes look cool or something. I just. But yeah, like I'm working on something right now that Mark just sent me, and it's kind of flexing a different set of gears. It's I'm inking something, and I don't normally ink other people, and so it's neat why inkers I don't say like mimic, but like when they draw, they can kind of mimic the person they're inking style when they do like sketches or whatever. And that's just, you learn after doing it. And I'm learning so much already from this piece. And I'm just like, is this something I want to bring into my work now? Or is this just, should I just keep going in the trajectory I'm on? So it's interesting. It's a lot of fun too.
Yeah, like when you hear like Art Tavera talk about inking people and how doing like that. I was like, oh, that's crazy, because he said there's some people where he would ink them like you just said about to make it look like their style, and then he's like, there's other people where you ink so it doesn't look like their style. And I was like, oh, okay,
yeah,
wow.
like Kevin Nolan, if he inks you, it's going to look like him. It's not going to look like you.
Right. Yeah.
It like what was it? Sword of Azrael when it first came out, and it was Joe Quesada. Every single face looked like a Kevin Nolan face. It had that kind of that kind of Clint Eastwood look to it, like you know.
Yeah, is that also? Oh, I can't remember who. Maybe it was Frega, but I think he was saying that Jim Lee does that with all his faces. All his faces look the same. I think it was Jim Lee he was talking about.
Sure,
I can't remember.
Rob?
Oh yeah, maybe Rob too. Yeah. But he said you can always tell who did it by if you look at the faces. If you don't know, you can always tell who it is.
Yeah. Well, you know, I mean, some guys have a particular look to how they do stuff. I guess. I don't know. Because Jim's changed so much over the years. Like, I think he's a better artist now, especially when you see him do like his sketches and stuff, and he just like does all this like kind of netted looking crosshatch, but it like makes like forms and stuff. I think he's a better artist, but I don't think he still has that that impact, that wow factor that he did in the 90s. You know, as a draftsman, he's a lot better, but I think as a exciting, and I'm probably in the minority, but I prefer his 90s stuff to what he's doing now. And I swear if I see one more drawing of Batman, I'm going to vomit, but you know, that's just me. That's just me.
Well, and the rarity of seeing his stuff these days. It's like, I thought when he was, going to be at DC, I was like, oh, we're going to see more of his stuff, more, like more comics by him and stuff. And then I'm like, what is he doing? I haven't seen anything from him in a long time. I'm like, you're at DC, right? You're still there. Yes, I check. He's still there, but he's not, but he doesn't draw anything.
Yeah.
But I'm like, no, you're an awesome artist. Draw things. Like, don't let that talent go to waste.
But I get like all the pencil stuff he does. Like I got the Hush, the Suicide Squad, and the Justice League, where it's just all his pencil work. And it's a lot different than his I think there's Richard Friend has a YouTube and he was inking some of the Suicide Squad stuff, and he was like, these are deadline Jim Lee pencils. And I think Suicide Squad was the closest I think he came to having that kind of image flavor. His Justice League was good, but stiff, I think. I don't know. It just like there are certain poses that he would put people in, and I'm just like, that just looks like there's one of the splash page of Wonder Woman stabbing Darkseid in the eye. Like Wonder Woman's body is just like that's probably how it would really look if you did it, but like it I don't know.
Wasn't dynamic enough?
It looked really weird. I would have done legs back, arms up, and
oh yeah.
She looks like she's like on a treadmill, and I'm just like, that just looks weird. And I'll watch his the videos he puts on YouTube, and he'll draw like an entire figure, and then he'll erase the whole thing and then start from scratch. And a lot of times I'm like, that first gesture was better than what you wound up with. Like, I think he did one where it was a Justice League variant cover with Batman on it, and he's like shooting his gun or whatever, his grappling gun. And the original pose was more like dynamic, and again, it's the pose he went with. It looks like he's kind of running, like
just frozen. Got his cut up.
It's like, that's not Jim Lee, that's Jim Derp, but whatever.
Yeah, or the ones that you see. I know I've seen people doing before with Batman when he does the grappling gun, and he's just like standing there like he's in an elevator.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I'm like, that doesn't look right. What's wrong with this picture? He shouldn't just be standing there like he's just elevator ride.
It's I don't know, and I understand he's that's not his only job is to draw now, but It's like if you're gonna do it, do it. You know, break from
it is now.
Yeah, yeah.
I heard he's going to do the their universe thing again, like the DC universe, like the Bible for the character sheets.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
probably. But
yeah, I heard that's what he's going to do, and that's it.
Hopefully, he keeps all the pinstripes off of the outfits.
yeah. I don't need any more of those.
Yeah, that's the only complaint I have about the new. There's a lot of good books that came out of the new 52, but the only thing I didn't like about it was
a lot of bad ones too.
Yeah. You overcomplicate a costume and it loses its luster. You know,
right?
It just becomes bric-a-brac. It just becomes a jumbled mess to the eye. You know, it looks good when he draws it, but when other people have to draw it, it doesn't tend to look as good. Kind of like the Iron Spider-Man outfit. When it first came out, it looked great because Joe Quesada drew that first piece. Right. But then you watch anybody else draw it, and it looks like garbage. You know, and it's kind of like one of those things. The original outfits are universal to where even somebody like me could probably make it look decent. So,
and then you've got such good artists drawing those originals that when anybody else goes to do it, you're like, ruh-roh. That didn't quite work.
Yeah. So, but you know, art's subjective, and you like what you like, and you don't like what you don't like, but you can learn from both. So, you know, that was from a buddy of mine, Phil Hester, who's sorry,
that's okay.
This guy, Phil Hester, he's a DC Image Marvel artist. He's also a great writer. But when I met him years ago, he was at an Iowa City convention, and he was working on Argus, an Argus miniseries for DC. And he told me, he goes, don't just look at the artists you like. Look at the artists you don't like. Find out why you don't like it. You know, like what is it about their work that turns you off? Because when you learn that, then it helps you avoid doing that yourself. Like you can kind of avoid tripping over your own feet, kind of, as it were. And that's always been great advice. And he's always been a cool sounding board. And he's an underrated guy too. I think he's like this generation's Alex Toth, but that's just my opinion.
So, Mark, you've got, as we should probably start wrapping this up, but you've got SeaDog and Killswitch coming out. Yep. Then you've got Viking Wolf, and then you'll have the USAssassin's book 3.
That's right.
And then, are you going to do the next Graveyard? Did you say?
Yeah, Graveyard Shift 4, and if possible, I'll try to fit in Blackout and Loose Threads this year. The book should be done. It's just a matter of if there's enough time in the year to crowdfund them.
Yeah, that would be what, 5 books, 6 books you try to do? 1, 2, 3, 4,
6. Yeah,
6. Wow.
And the great
that might.
Go ahead, Mike. I'm going to say the great thing about your campaigns is they deliver.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what I was going to say too. You can count on it being fulfilled.
Yeah, fulfilled 5 campaigns last year. So yeah, if I could do 6, that would be amazing.
You're all. I want to break my own record.
I mean, I just love making comic books so much. I love the whole process of it. I love working with artists like Mike and Clint and John and seeing my ideas come to life. But I love the fulfillment aspect of it too. This whole crowdfunding going direct to consumer, it really is fulfilling. It makes for more personal interactions. You get to know your customers. Like you, Todd, you've been a great supporter of USAssassin, and Mike and I really appreciate it. But yeah, you get to get on a more personal level with your fan base, and I think that's why all this crowdfunding and Comicsgate is working. is because we're building these personal interactions and relationships with the customers.
Yeah.
It's I kind of liken it to like in the late 90s, they did the VH1 did like the Behind the Music show, and there would be bands that I had zero interest in, but you learn about them, you see how they are as people, and then you're kind of like, they're kind of cool, maybe I will go check out their, it's more like the more you know about about the people, you don't just take it at face value anymore. And I think that's kind of what like YouTube's done for the indie people is right. It's you get that kind of one-on-one, I mean, the chat gets to ask us questions, we get they get an immediate response, and it's they get to see, and like they say on social media, it's hard to tell what people's intentions are behind their words because you don't see you don't hear their inflections and stuff like that. So being able to actually see people live and as people and whatever. I don't know. I ramble. I am so sorry.
That's good. No, you missed the question I asked earlier because you just answered the question without knowing. I asked Mark and Clint what do they think about this new era of comic books where it's as much about selling yourself as it is about selling the product.
Yep.
And you're right, because I told them before that there were projects that I was like, no, I'm not going to back this project. But then I saw the creators on a stream and got to hear their excitement and love for what they were doing and how they felt about it. And I went and backed those projects that I wasn't going to back.
Absolutely. It's it's really great for us.
And I think it's great to see, like I told Mark and Clint that, and you now too, that to see the general excitement you have and love for the things you guys are doing. Where like some of the artists writers before working for Marvel or DC, they're like, it's a paycheck. I'm just doing it, and now it's and now, like you were saying, well, how excited you were about, doing the USAssassin, getting to do all these things. And now the graveyard shift crossover, you see that. And now we get to see that kind of excitement in you guys and how you guys talk about stuff. And it makes me go, oh, okay, I want to back that, because I can see how excited the creators are. And that makes people want to be excited for them and with them. So they want to go back their projects.
Yeah, because there's nothing worse than, I think when you hear that people are excited about, I mean, it's not just, like a wash, rinse, repeat, like mainstream comics can be, right. I mean, I'm sure there's people that love Spider-Man enough to where it's not just a gig, but like, this is so much fun. And every time I get like a new message from Mark, he's like, hey, guess what I just did? How did you make that deal happen? Mm-hmm. Or hey, this is what we're doing for the next one. I'm just like going, how in the hell am I going to draw that? But
yeah, like the Flip Gordon thing. When I saw him post that, I was like, how the hell did he do that? That's amazing.
All I can say is I'm glad we're not a sci-fi book, so Mark cannot write that one panel and the fleets engage. I'd have to fly to Jersey and beat them. So
you're all...
we are going to space in Volume 4, though.
You're screwed, Mike.
All right. Time to go digital. Clone a ship.
Exactly. One ship, and then just here you go, copy. There he is, clone. Okay, I got the whole fleet. Oh, that's good. Okay, well, we've been going for over 2 hours now, so I think I will call it. No, it's so good. This has been fun getting to talk to you guys.
Yeah,
I followed you guys on all your different streams and talk, in the chat, but it's really fun to get to talk to you guys. Or on Twitter, Mike, and buying all your art.
I just feel bad because I have a tendency to ramble and just like lose the question that was asked or the topic, and I just go all over the place. And
that's a good thing for streaming.
which is weird because normally I'm pretty reserved, kind of shy guy. Like I'm not very social. So maybe that's why I ramble, is because I can finally get it all out.
Hey, no, that's a good thing for streaming, because sometimes you got to sit there and you see some of these people try to pull that information out of people. Come on, talk more, and they give one word answers or something, and they're like, no, talk a little more, talk some more.
Yeah.
I did a stream with Phil Diaz and Professor Murph from More Party, and they were great too. Like you guys, you hardly needed prodding. They're great talkers. So I was like, oh, this makes a great first show, because they both would just ask them one question and they, okay, we're going, there we go. And that was great.
Out and go, come on, talk.
Yeah. There was no. And it's the same with, say, he thinks you're awesome, Sean.
Thanks, Sean. It's because he's secretly in love with me. That's all right.
Okay, well, thank you everybody for joining us for another episode of Creator Truths. Tonight we had, like I said, Mark, Mike, and Clint, and talk about ended up talking about a lot of projects because Mark's got so many. So you guys have a good night, and we'll see you in the next Creator Truths.
Thanks, guys.
See ya.
See you, Mike.
See you, buddy.